Hi Libra, my name is Audrey Alison. Thank you for joining me for your August 2016 forecast for the month. I'm happy to be here and thank you for subscribing to this channel and for your support on my Facebook page, Audrey Alison Astrology and Tarot, and for your support on IG. I have an Instagram account, Summer Jemmy. Let's start the forecast. There is eclipse season happening, also a Mercury retrograde, and I'm using the Alchemical deck by Robert M. Place. It is my steadfast deck. I incorporate the science of astrology and the energy of tarot, and vice versa, the energy of astrology and the science of tarot. So let's get to the forecast on the 2nd of August. We have Mars entering the sign of Sagittarius, and this will be conjunct Saturn at 9 degrees in your communication sector, Libra, in the 3rd house of neighborhoods and siblings, local areas. Mars is energy and stamina, and Saturn is restriction and limitation. And these two combined can give a little bit of a gritty energy because Mars wants you to go and Saturn's like, hold up. And this could be in terms of relationships to siblings right now, or even with your communication style. You express that you want something and then you hold off a little bit. You don't know if you want it. Or you're limiting the speech or communication about what it is because it's 3rd house. It's the thoughts. It's how you're thinking. Oh, this is interesting. I'm just giving examples of how this could apply. Mars wanting you to discuss everything that's going through your mind, every thought, every fantasy, all the intellect that's being gathered. And then Saturn going, don't say too much. Pull back some. Don't go so fast. Don't rush, because Mars wants you to rush and Saturn doesn't. And this is all in the 3rd house of how you are expressing yourself. It's also the 3rd house of the vehicle, the cars, the automobiles. Mars could want you going fast, fast, fast. Saturn wants you slowing up. On that same day, we have our new moon at 10 degrees of Leo, more fire energy, next to Sagittarius. In the 11th house, new moon, 10 degrees Leo in the 11th, trining Uranus in Aries. And also anything in Sagittarius is also trining. So Mars and Saturn trining Uranus and Aries as well. This is some strong fire catalyst energy in your relationship sector as well as your friendship sector. Now, what I think is interesting for Libra, you've been dealing with Uranus, the planet of upheaval, in your marriage sector for 7 years. So, for 6.5 years. So this is a roller coaster ride, and most people tend to divorce when Uranus hits the 7th house. Now, not everyone is alive, a full time for Uranus to go around. You'd have to be at least 84 years old to experience Uranus in every single sign. So not everyone has this planet affecting their marriage sector in a lifetime. However, for Libra, Uranus in Aries has caused some upheaval, and he'll remain there for another year. Depending on where your natal chart positionings are, I would look at that. On the 5th of August, Venus enters Virgo through the 28th of August, conjunct Jupiter in the 12th house. I don't mind a 12th house placement. I love it actually because it brings awareness and activation to the dream life. And not everyone's into their dreams. I always have been since I was a little girl, and I do write them down because I find that they can create a pattern for me. So I know every time the moon is in Leo that I'm going to have some dream about something creative or something like that. There's a pattern that you can establish, and I'm just into this kind of stuff. So with Jupiter conjunct Venus expanding the 12th house of dreams and instinct, trust what your gut is telling you, Libra. What are you drawn to in your gut? This is all trining Pluto, a level of intensity that is probably rare. And you don't always have this. Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn in your 4th house of foundation. If your foundation is not sturdy, you can't build a home. What are you building on? You might be building on just your hopes in the 11th house. You can't build a house on hope. Well, I mean, that's maybe um, not literally. Metaphorically, you could build a house on hope. With Venus in this 12th house, she's harmony, she's balance. She wants you to smooth over the 12th house of privacy, of dream life. It's a very quiet energy, the 12th and 4th house. You have a lot of privacy. It's also the house of endings. Venus being the feminine and female energy and attraction, conjunct Jupiter in a big way in the 12th, I think you're intuitively knowing something is either working for you or not working for you. And it could be related to the house of home, your foundation, and the house of mother, the 4th house of mother. On the 18th, we have our first session of eclipses. We have our full moon lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Aquarius in your 5th house of romance, or the 5th house of children, the 5th house of creative entrepreneurial endeavors. With a full moon, full moons bring endings and closure in the sectors that they are shining in, and eclipses are portals between the sun and the moon. They are our strongest form of awareness that we can gather. You could see an ending around, well, put it this way, it doesn't have to happen on the 18th. Eclipse energy is an impetus. It starts the catalyst for change and for the alignment of the path you might have to be on instead of the one you're on. That's why your intuition is so important. Your gut knows before you might have the ability to take action or true awareness of where you're supposed to head. You've picked it. You've picked this life coming in. You picked this path because you knew you could handle it and you had to learn certain lessons. So a full moon in the 5th could see you becoming aware of the closure, the culmination, the full moon, the illumination of the romance sector, the 5th house where this is falling for you. And you could see some things end at that time if they're not working for you. You could also see maybe your children going back to college at that time, the 5th house of kids, and an ending to something there. If you were used to having them home in the summer, seeing that happen for Libras could be big in the mid-month of August. It could apply to different people in different ways. This could also be the end of a creative project that has come to completion. If you've finished recording an album at that time, maybe you're in a play and it's coming to an end around mid-month. On the 22nd, the sun enters Virgo. I never mind this. I love Virgo activity for Libra because it's the house of rest for you. And when the sun enters Virgo, like I mentioned earlier, conjunct Jupiter and Venus, those are benefic planets. And this is a time for relaxation and a great time for you to take it easy. Perfect time to get a little mini vacay in before Mercury retrogrades on the 30th of August, if you could. But either way, this is it's about endings as well. The 12th house is the house of release, endings, release of addiction. So Libra having cosmic support around the 22nd, you could put down the vices at that time. On the 29th, Venus enters Libra, and that you love because that is the first house of self. So you are aesthetically looking your sexiest. You're doing great things for the image, the ego, the body. Venus is beauty, attraction, smoothing over of your aesthetic appearance, harmony and balance. So you're graceful, and people are attracted to you at this time, Libra. On the 30th, Mercury retrogrades at 29 degrees of Virgo, back through 14 degrees. And this is again conjunct Jupiter in that 12th house. I don't mind a Mercury retrograde in the 12th because what this is going to do is activate the dream life on tilt. So dream recall, remembering the past is what's going to happen with Mercury drawing in on the 12th. Don't be surprised if you dream of people who have passed in that time, or maybe some insight or a message, revelation through sleep and REM sleep. Feeling nostalgic could happen for you, Libra, with a retrograde in the 12th. Feeling nostalgic for what has already ended or what you had perceived as over could occur with the 12th house. A review of your quiet, restful space is a possibility as well with Mercury retrograding here. And he'll be retrograde through the 22nd of September. So you'll have 3 weeks. And this year, Mercury retrogrades 4 times for 3 weeks at a time. So what's that? 84. 84 days out of 365. That's a lot. Normally, he's only 3 weeks, which would be 63 days. So we have this a little longer this year. But it's for a reason, and it's to serve your highest good. It's to realign you. It's to get you on track. Where are you supposed to be? Are you there? On the 1st of September, the new moon solar eclipse at 9 degrees of Virgo happens, and I wanted to mention that again in this 12th house. So there is a fresh start for Libra come September. And when the sun enters your sign in September and October, your solar return, you're in preparation right now. 6 weeks prior to the birthday, you could gain more knowledge in those 6 weeks than you had cumulatively in the whole year. So keep your ear holes open, keep your intuition open, keep your third eye open, pay attention to those dreams. Let's get to the tarot. Let's see what comes up in the tarot. Alchemical deck, Robert M. Place. I've thoroughly shuffled throughout the reading, Libra, so we'll see what comes up for you. And if you'd like to book with me, I'm at audreyalison.com. I read all through the week, and you can find me there and place your order via the PayPal button, and I will get back to you via email in a day or two and set that up with you. All right, Libra. Here's what's up for August. Whoa. Okay, so when the card of Saturn or the devil shows up, it's about restriction. It's not about evil and people starting to freak out. The devil card is obsession, vice, but what are you trapped and bound to? Something is enslaving you. I want to pull more cards to get to it, but no better time to actually get that card because it is about vice too. And to have all of this beautiful, positive, beneficent 12th house energy, which is the house of addictions and release. You could release a really strong habit at that time. But let's see what else comes up. Because to start with the devil, I don't want to immediately start talking about, vices. It could represent that. But here's the Knight of Coins. This is about protecting your health and your wealth. So it very well may be that you're abusing something or you're just doing something in excess that needs to be honed in and tapered off. Now, the Knight of Coins could be a younger earth sign male, a young Virgo, a young Taurus, or a young Capricorn. But this could actually represent a facet of yourself that needs to guard the health and the wealth at this time and make it a priority. And maybe it's what you're trapped to right now. Maybe you're becoming obsessed. The 6th house isn't impacted for you, but the devil could be that you feel like you're trapped in something and you don't want to be. So let's see what else comes up. Ooh, 2 of Swords. Okay, interesting. This could apply to a few things. This could be a discussion between 2 air sign people. The swords represent air in the tarot. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius are the air signs. So this duel, this debate, is about a verbal debate. It's not about a physical fight, even though you'd think swords were like sword fighting. It's about speech and the mind. You're at a crossroads, Libra. Your mind could have been stimulated or activated or intrigued like the wind through verbal debate. Let's see what else comes up. You're actively questioning. You're actively questioning and seeking answers right now. You have 2 more cards. Wow. So you went from the Knight of Coins to protecting your health and wealth to mastering it. The King of Coins, as one of the outcome cards, is the highest form of potential for your earnings. I love how that lion has his paw on that coin. He's like, this is my coin. And I love this card. He's really sweet, and he makes the Leo rising in me very feisty. But the King of Coins doesn't play. King of Coins knows where he wants to live, knows what's up with his money, and it could be an earth sign male too that you know, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, but I feel like it's representing a facet of yourself because you went from this to this. So maybe this conversation stimulated you somehow, or this, what you're actively questioning, which is the swords, has stimulated you somehow. Oh, yeah, someone's trapped. So these are very similar cards. The Beast is someone who is also bound to something. This is just a higher version of that card. Maybe Libra is trapped in either a relationship because of the 7th house and the 11th house in that trine, mixed with the 3rd house, and you can't communicate about it. So you're at a standstill. You're literally like this with someone. I want this to work. I don't know what I want. Maybe you're just going back and forth with someone. But I have to say, if you're feeling like this half of the time, you might need to reassess that. And with Saturn and Mars doing that in the 3rd house, I could see where Libra's weighing, because you are the scales in the tarot, the justice. You're weighing like, what the hell, does this work for me or doesn't this work for me? If you have any doubts, you have to listen to those. So that's my advice in the reading. I hope it was helpful. And I'm wishing you a beautiful August. Have a sweet day. And remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.